Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a new topic. It is preposition. Are you all ready? So, first we are going to learn the meaning of preposition. Look at the sentence there. Preposition tells us the position of something in relation to another. So, what they are telling there? So, preposition is a word that tells about the position of something, maybe a noun or a pronoun in a sentence, and its relation to another component in the same sentence. Can you get the point? So next we are moving to the definition of preposition. Look at the definition given there. A preposition is a word which is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relation with something else in the sentence. So it is clearly given in the definition that preposition is a word which is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relation, which means the connection between the preposition and the other parts of the same sentence. It shows the relation between the preposition and the other parts of the sentence by telling its location. Okay, so can you understand the definition? Okay, students, now we are looking at a chart which tells about the kinds of preposition. In English, preposition is generally divided into two kinds. They are prepositions that are based on their usage in a sentence, and the other kind is prepositions that are based on the construction of prepositions themselves. So under these two kinds there are different types of prepositions. Let's discuss them in detail. Look at the first kind, which is prepositions based on their usage in a sentence. Under that there are three types of prepositions given. The first one is preposition of place, the second one is preposition of time, and the third one is preposition of movement. So look at the next hand, that's prepositions based on the construction of preposition themselves. Under that kind there are four prepositions given. Look at the first one, that is simple preposition, next double preposition, next compound preposition, and finally participle preposition. So these are the kinds and types of prepositions used in English language. Okay, take a keen look of this chart and it will be very useful while learning prepositions. Okay, children. Next we are going to discuss about the first kind of preposition, that is prepositions based on their uses in a sentence. Now under this kind the prepositions are divided into three types. They are preposition of place, preposition of time, and preposition of movement. So let's discuss them in detail. Okay, preposition of place. So this is the first type of preposition under the first kind. So look at the definition there. Preposition of place refer to those prepositions which can be used to show where something is located. So what we are understanding from this definition, so prepositions that are used, that can be used to show what? To show something's location. So where it is located, where it is situated. So these prepositions tells about the position or location of the noun or a pronoun in a sentence. So those prepositions are called what? Prepositions of place. Can you understand? Here are some examples for preposition of place. So students, I have given a list of words, list of prepositions that we usually use while marking preposition of place. So take a look at this. I'll read the words: above, up, after, on, before, against, by, behind, below, along, near, down, in, at, across, inside, between, over. So these are the words we generally use while marking preposition of place. So I've given a list of example sentences. Take a look at that too. Look at the first sentence. The airplane is flying above the clouds. Where is the airplane flying? Look at the picture there. So the airplane is flying above the clouds. It is flying over the clouds. Instead of using over, we are using the word above. Next, the dog buried the bone under the ground. So look at the picture. What is the dog doing? The dog is burying its bone, not its bone. The dog is burying a bone under the ground. Okay, so look at the next sentence. Our house is at the end of the street. So imagine that your house is located in the end of your street. So when someone is asking you where is your house located, then what will be your answer? Our house is at the end of the street. Can you understand? So let's move on to the next sentence. The cat ran across the road. What did the cat do? The cat ran across the road. What do you mean by across? So the cat is crossing the road from the left to the right or from the right to the left side. So that's what we call it as across. So that's why we are using the word across. Can you understand the preposition of place? Yes. Okay students, now I have given some picture examples for preposition of places. Listen carefully, look at the pictures in the box. Look at the first picture. What the dragon is doing there? The dragon is climbing up the stairs. So we have given up there. Look at the next picture. The dragon is falling down. That's why we have given down. Look at the next picture. The dragon is moving away from its place with a bag in its hand. So it is moving away from its own place. So that's why we are using the preposition away from. Look at the next one. 2. What the dragon is having in its hand? The dragon is having a map. So it is going to reach a location. So it is going to reach a location. That's why we are using 2. So 2 here refers to the place where the dragon is going to reach. Can you understand? Good. Look at the next picture. The dragon is crossing. That's why we are using across, because it is crossing from left to the right side of anything. So that's why we have used here across. So look at the next picture. The dragon is entering into a telephone booth. So it is going inside. That's why we are using the word into as preposition. So look at the next picture. The dragon is coming out of the telephone booth. So it is coming outside. Instead of using outside, we are using out of. Understand? Look at the next picture. The dragon is passing through a fire ring. What it is doing? It is crossing through. This is not into. This is through. Can you understand? Because it is passing through the circle. Okay. So look at the next picture. The dragon is crossing over the barricade. There is a barricade there. Barricade means the police people and all will keep it right in the road. So it is jumping or it is walking over the barricade. Look at the next one. There is a wall there. The dragon is passed. It is passing through. That's why we have used past. So look at the next thing. The dragon is walking along the road. Already we have seen a sentence along the pavement. She ran along the pavement. I have given already an example. So same as that example, the dragon is walking along the road. So look at the next final picture. What the dragon is doing? The dragon is going around the pole. There is a pole there. Pole means there is a stick there, and the dragon is going around the stick. That's why it is making a round. That's why we are using around. Can you all understand? Okay class, now we are moving on to the preposition of time. So this is the second type of preposition under the first kind. So the definition is given there. Look at it carefully. I'll read it once. A preposition of time helps to link the noun and pronoun with a time value. It functions as an indicator as to what point of time did an event occur. So from this what we are understanding is preposition of time helps us to link the noun and pronoun with a time value. How to say means in a sentence, at what time an event has occurred in the past or in the future or in the present. So it denotes at what time an event has occurred in a sentence. So that's what preposition of time is. Can you all understand? So here are some examples for preposition of time. Students, I have given a list of prepositions that we usually use while marking preposition of time. So let me read those words. Take a look at it. About, before, for, by, around, in, ago, at, past, since, to, on, after, until, between, and during. So these are the list of words we use while marking preposition of time. So students, I have given a list of example sentences. Take a look at that too. Look at the first sentence. The train is about to leave the station. So what does it mean? The train is getting ready to move away from the station. So instead of using all these words, they are using a single word, that is about. So the train is about to leave the station. So look at the next sentence. The classes begins at 8 o'clock. So at here refers a particular time which is 8 o'clock. So at 8 o'clock the classes are going to begin. So look at the next sentence. My birthday falls on Wednesday. So on Wednesday denotes also a particular day which is Wednesday. So his birthday or her birthday is going to fall on Wednesday. So look at the next sentence. India has been independent since 1947. So since here refers to the time period from 1947 to the present. So till now we are independent. So instead of marking all these words, we are using a single word, that is since 47, in the sense from 1947 till now we are independent. Okay, so can you all understand, students? Okay class, now we are moving on to preposition of time. So I have given an illustrated tabular column. Look at the tabular column. There are 3 columns there. Look at the first one, that is at, and the next is in, and the other one is on. So these are the 3 major prepositions that denotes preposition of time. Okay, so these 3 prepositions denotes time in 3 different ways. So let's discuss in detail then. Look at the first column, at. Look at the first example, at 12 o'clock. So we use at to refer a particular time, an exact time. Okay, so at 12 o'clock refers to the exact 12 o'clock. So look at the next one, at night. At night, I sleep at night. So at here refers to the night alone. Okay, so look at the next one, at noon or midday. What do you mean by midday? Midday is nothing but afternoon. So look at the next time, at bedtime. What is bedtime? The time in which we will go to bed, which means in the night. So at bedtime refers to the period of time in which we go to bed. So look at the next one, at lunchtime. At lunchtime here refers to what? Afternoon. Yes, at the time in which we have our lunch. So look at the next one, at sunrise or sunset. When will the sun rise? The sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. Yes, look at the next column, in. So in the morning. How can we write it in a sentence? I had a cup of tea in the morning. So in the morning here refers to a particular morning. Next, in the afternoon. I had my lunch in the afternoon. Look at the next one. In the spring. What do you mean by spring? Spring is a season. Okay. In the spring, the leaves will fall. Look at the tree there. The tree is leafless. All those leaves were shredded down. So look at the next one. In the summer. What? In the summer, give me an example sentence. In the summer, we will go for vacation. Yes. Look at the next one. In 1980. Whenever we are referring or denoting a year, we should add in before the year. So in 2021, in 1947, India got independence. Like that we have to mention. Look at the next one. In the 1960s. So likewise we have to use in a prepositions of time. So look at the next column. On here refers to a particular day, not date or time. It refers to a particular day. On Monday, on Thursday, on April 3rd, on 1st of January 2017, on the 10th of any month, on the 10th of August, like that we have to write. And last one is on the first day. On the first day of my school, I cried like a baby. So like that we can use it as an example. So already we have seen an example like my birthday falls on Wednesday. So on Wednesday refers to a Wednesday, that is particularly Wednesday. So like that we have to use on in a sentence. So these are the examples for preposition of time. Clear, students? Good. Okay class, now we are moving on to the next preposition, that is preposition of movement. This is the third type of preposition under the first kind. So look at the definition given there. A preposition of movement is used to show movement to or from a place. So what this preposition marks? It tells about the movement of a noun or a pronoun from or to a place in a sentence. So can you understand? Here are some examples for preposition of movement. Students, I have given a list of prepositions that we usually use while marking preposition of movement. So take a look at those words. Look at the first one. Down, past, into, behind, up, onto, through, off, over, on, across, at, by, for, after, and towards. So these are the list of words. Students, I have given a list of example sentences too. Take a look at the first one. The cat has climbed up a tree. So here up refers not only the place where the cat is sitting, but it also refers to the action what the cat has done. So the cat has climbed up a tree. So it denotes the action of the cat. Look at the next sentence. The children got off the bus. So what the children done? The children got off the bus in the sense they are getting outside from the bus. Okay. So look at the next sentence. She ran along the pavement. What do you mean by pavement? Pavement is a place like veranda or a corridor. So what she does? She ran along the pavement. So look at the next sentence. The bus goes towards the market. Where the bus is going? The bus is going towards the market. So the destination of the bus is to the market. So that's why we are using the word what? Towards. Good. Okay class, now we are moving on to preposition of movement examples. So I have given some picture examples in the box. Look at the first one. There is a rat there. There's a rat there. What the rat is going to do? The rat is going to get into the box. It is going into the box. So it is getting ready to go into the box. It is not going inside the box. It is going into the box. Okay. So look at the next example. The rat is coming out of the box. It is coming out of the box, not outside the box. It is coming out of the box. Okay. So look at the next picture. There is a kitten there. There's a cat, tiny cat. So the cat is going to come around the box. Around in the sense it is going to make a round around the box. That's why we are using around there. So look at the next picture. There's a bird flying away from the box. What we have discussed, away from in the sense it is moving from where it was already. So the box is down there and the bird is going to fly away from the box. So look at the next box. Towards the box, the birds, there are some birds flying and the birds are flying towards the box. Okay, towards the box in the sense it is coming near. They are trying to come near the box. So instead of using all those things, we are using towards the box. Look at the next one. Past the box. The bird is going to past the box. Look at the next one. Onto the box. There is a frog sitting next to the box and it is trying to jump and sit onto the box. Okay, so if it does so, we will tell it as the frog jumped onto the box. Understand? So look at the next one. Off the box. So the frog is already sitting over the box and it is trying to get down. So if it do so, what we will tell? The frog got off the box. Okay, so look at the next one. The frog is going to jump over the box. What the frog is trying to do? The frog is going to jump over the box. Yes, look at the next one. There is a tiny snake there. There is a wall and the snake is trying to go under the wall. Okay, what we have to say? We have to tell the snake is going to get under the wall. Yes, good. Look at the next one. There is a pipe there and there is a tiny snake, and what we have to tell? The snake is going through the pipe because it is going into. This is not into. We have to write through the pipe because all the two ends of the pipe are open. So we have to use through the pipe. Understand? So look at the next one. The snake is going across the bridge. Across the bridge. Already we have seen across. Okay. Across means from this side to that side. Look at the next sentence. There is a boy standing and he is going to climb up the stairs. So he is going to climb up the stairs. So look at the next example. There's a girl coming down the stairs. So she is getting down using the stairs. So we have to tell like the girl is going to get down the stairs. So can you understand, students? Okay, students, it's time for revision. I've given some questions, so we are going to answer. Okay, are you all ready? Yes. Look at the first sentence. The books are dash the cupboard. Look at the picture given there in the right side. Take a look at it, understand the picture and answer the question. Look at the next question. The dog is dash the chair. Look at the picture given and answer the question. Next, the apple is dash the book. For that also I have given a picture and the options are given in the bracket. So choose the correct answer and fill in the blanks. Okay class, I have given the answers too. So look at the first sentence. The books are in the cupboard. Look at the picture where the books are. The books are inside the cupboard. So it is in the cupboard. Look at the next sentence. The dog is under the chair. Where is the dog sitting? The dog is sitting under the chair. So look at the next one. The apple is on the book. So where it is placed? It is placed on the book. Okay. Look at the next exercise. The horse is jumping dash the wall. So what did the horse do? The horse is jumping dash the wall. Look at the picture. A man is riding the horse and the horse is jumping. So understand the picture, put the proper preposition and answer the question. Look at the next one. The boy is writing dash the blackboard. So next is the rat is dash the cat. Look at the picture. Where is the rat? So I have given the options in bracket. Choose the correct preposition and fill in the blanks. Okay. Okay class, I have given the answers too. Look at the first sentence. The horse is jumping over the wall. Look at the picture. What the horse does? The horse is jumping over the wall. So look at the next sentence. The boy is writing on the blackboard. So the board will be hanging in a wall, and if you are writing on the board, we should not tell it as I am writing in the board. We should tell it as I am writing on the board. So same as the boy is writing on the board. Can you understand? Good. So look at the next sentence. The rat is near the cat. So where is the rat? Look at the picture. The rat is sitting near the cat. That's all. Okay class, now we are moving on to the second kind of preposition, that is prepositions that are based on the construction of preposition themselves. So under this category there are four types of preposition. They are simple prepositions, double prepositions, compound prepositions, and finally what? Participle preposition. So these are the four types of preposition under the second category. Now let's discuss them in detail. Okay students, now we are moving on to the first type, that is simple preposition. So I have given the definition there. Look at it carefully. Read the sentence. Preposition that consist of one word and are very simple to understand are called as simple prepositions. These are the most commonly used prepositions by everyone. So what they are telling? Simple preposition consist of only one word and are very simple to understand. So another point is, it is the most common preposition used by everyone. Now here are some examples for simple prepositions. Students, I have given a list of words that we use generally while marking simple prepositions. They are above, under, around, through, after, on, before, about, among, behind, along, near, down, across, and between. So these are the words we use to mark simple preposition. Okay class, I have given a list of example sentences to take a look at it. Look at the first sentence. The paper is on my desk. Look at the picture there, where the paper is located. The paper is on my desk. It is placed on the desk. So that's why it is on my desk. Look at the next sentence. The man was standing under the tree. Look at the picture. Where is the man standing? The man is standing under the tree. Look at the next one. I will meet you near your house at 5 p.m. So where he is going to meet? He is going to meet near his house. Okay. Look at the next one. She is in her room. Where is she? She is in her room. Next we are moving on to the double preposition. So this is the second type of preposition in the second kind. Look at the definition given there. Double prepositions are two prepositions but were joined to make a whole new one. So what basically they are doing is, they are taking two different prepositions and they are merging or joining it into a whole new preposition. So this is what we call it as a double preposition. Can you all understand? So here are some examples for double preposition. Students, I have given a list of few words that we use while marking double prepositions. So look at it. Look at the first word. It is inside, outside, into, onto, up on, up to, within, and without. So these are the list of words. Students, I have given a list of example sentences there. Take a look at it. Look at the first sentence. The garden is outside the house. Look at the picture. Where is the garden? So the garden is outside the house. So look at the next one. It is up to you to decide. Why we are using up to you? So the option is given to ourselves. So that's why they are telling it as it is up to you to decide. Look at the next one. The dog jumped onto the bed. So look at the picture. What is the dog doing? It is jumping onto the bed. Okay. So look at the next sentence. Once upon a time there lived a king. It is a famous line from the old stories we have been hearing or listening from our childhood. So, what is the sentence? Once upon a time there lived a king. Upon here refers to a point of time in the past. So, instead of using in the past, we are using just a single word, that is upon. Once upon a time. Can you all understand? Now we are moving on to the next type of preposition, that is compound preposition. This is the third type of preposition in the second category. Look at the definition given there. Compound prepositions are two-word prepositions. Unlike double prepositions, compound prepositions are not joined and turned into one word. They remain as two different words. So from the definition, what we are understanding is compound preposition is far different from double preposition. It contains two word prepositions, but they are not merging or joining them to make a whole new one. So they are using those two words as two different word preposition. That's why it is called as compound preposition. Here are some examples for compound prepositions. Students, I have given a list of prepositions that we usually use to mark compound prepositions. So take a look at those words. First one is according to, apart from, close to, because of, far from, next to, rather than, instead of, out of, due to, relating to, and in front of. So these are the words we use commonly to mark compound prepositions. So look at the first sentence. My car is parked in front of the house. Where is the car parked? The car is parked in front of the house. So look at the next sentence. Rita was never close to her parents. So never close to her parents in the sense she is not being so close with her parents. Look at the next sentence. His behavior is far from normal. So what does the word far from normal refers here? He is behaving something different from normal. So that's why they are using the word far from normal. Can you all understand, students? Now we are moving to the last type of preposition, that is participle preposition. This is the fourth type of preposition in the second kind. So look at the definition given there. Participle prepositions are basically participles used as prepositions. A participle is actually a verb that ends with en or ing. So participle prepositions are nothing but participle verbs. So what are participle verbs? The verbs that end with en or ing. Can you understand? Here are some examples for participle prepositions. Students, I have given a list of prepositions that we use to mark participle prepositions. Take a look at those words. Concerning, during, excluding, including, given, following, failing, respected, provided, pending, and considering. So students, I have given a list of example sentences. Look at the first one. Everywhere my father went, his dog was following him. Look at the picture. A dad is going out with her child and their dog is following them. So that's what given in the sentence. Everywhere my father went, his dog was following him. Next, Ram is always curious about anything concerning Shyam. So what Ram was always curious about? He was always curious about anything concerning Shyam. Can you all understand? Okay class, now it's time for the revision of simple preposition. I have given a list of few questions and few pictures. You are going to relate the picture with the sentence and you are going to answer correctly. Okay. So look at the first sentence. The young boy is dash the phone right now. Look at the picture. The boy is talking on the phone, and you are going to understand the picture and you are going to select the correct preposition. Look at the next one. My family is going dash vacation this summer. There you can see a picture of a family going for a vacation in a car. Look at the next one. The toy bear is dash the box. Look at the picture where the toy bear is, and you have to choose the correct answers from the bracket given there, and you have to fill in the blanks. Okay class, I have given the answers for the exercise of simple preposition. Look at the first sentence. The young boy is on the phone right now. On the phone in the sense he is on a call with someone else. So that's why we are using the preposition on. Look at the next one. My family is going to vacation this summer. So where they are going? They are going to vacation this summer. So look at the next one. The toy bear is in the box. Where is the toy bear? The toy bear is in the box. So that's why we are using the word in. Good. Okay class, now we are going to revise double preposition. I have given a list of questions and few pictures. You are going to relate the picture with the question, understand the picture and answer the given questions correctly. So now we are going to the first question. Dash the house lies a beautiful garden. Look at the picture. There is a house and a garden. Understand the picture and answer the question. Next, the owl sat dash a banyan tree. Look at the picture, understand and answer. Next, I never leave my house dash an umbrella due to the uncertain weather. What do you mean by uncertain? Uncertain in the sense unpredictable. So we can't predict whether it may rain or it may not rain. So the answers, the options are given in the bracket. You have to choose the correct preposition and fill in the blanks correctly. Okay. Now look at the answers for the exercise of double preposition. Look at the first sentence. Outside the house lies a beautiful garden. So where is the garden? Where people are working in the garden? The garden is outside the house. Next, the owl sat atop a banyan tree. Where did the owl sit? The owl sat atop a banyan tree. Atop in the sense on the top of. Okay. So next is I never leave my house without an umbrella due to the uncertain weather. So uncertain, I have given the meaning for uncertain. So for that reason she never leaves the house without an umbrella. Can you all understand? Next we are going to revise compound prepositions. I have given list of questions and pictures. Going to relate the picture with the questions, understand the picture and you are going to give the correct answers. Okay, look at the first sentence. The dash the auditorium is beautiful. There is a picture of an auditorium. Relate the picture with the sentence and give the answer. Next, Robin is standing dash Julie. Next, he could not leave home dash heavy rain. So the options are given in the bracket. Choose the correct preposition and fill in the blanks. Now the answers for the compound preposition is given. Look at the first sentence. The inside of the auditorium is beautiful. What is beautiful? The inside. Inside in the sense the interior of the auditorium is beautiful. Instead of using the word interior, they are using inside of. Next, Robin is standing next to Julie. Look at the picture where Robin is standing. Robin is standing next to Julie. So what is next? He could not leave home because of heavy rain. What is the reason? Heavy rain. Good. Why he is not able to leave the house? He could not able to leave the house because of heavy rain. Next we are going to revise the last preposition, that is participle preposition. So I have given list of questions and pictures. You are going to relate the picture with the questions, understand the picture and you are going to give the right answers. Look at the first one. Everywhere he went, the dog kept dash him. Look at the picture that we have already seen and answer the question. Next, the entire class went to picnic dash the teacher. Next, she works dash the day and studies at night. So the options are given in the bracket. Choose the correct preposition and fill in the blanks. So the answers for the participle prepositions are there. Look at the questions. Look at the first one. Everywhere he went, the dog kept following him. What did the dog do? The dog is following them. That's what they are telling in the sentence. Everywhere he went, the dog kept following him. So look at the next sentence. The entire class went to picnic, including the teacher. What do you mean by including? Along with the teacher or in addition with the teacher. Okay. In the presence of the teacher, the entire class went to the picnic. Next, she works during the day and studies at night. When she is working, she is working during the daytime and she is studying in the night. So these are the correct answers for the questions of participle preposition. Okay class, now we are moving on to the next topic that is very important for you. The topic is mistakes commonly made in prepositions. Okay, so this is the most important topic. You have to listen it carefully. Okay, so it tells about where and all we will make mistakes while using prepositions. So listen carefully. I'll read it once. In this lesson, we will take a look at some of the most common mistakes in the use of prepositions. So that I have given basic or some commonly made mistakes in preposition, okay, and the correct preposition what we have to use in that place. So let's take a look at it. Look at the first one. The ball rolled slowly in the goal. So what they are telling, the ball rolled slowly in the goal. I think they are talking about football because goal post will be there only in football and the ball will roll into the what? Goal post. Good. So it is incorrect because we should not use in. Instead of in, we have to use some other preposition that is given down there. Look at the correct sentence. The ball rolled slowly into the goal because there will be a space inside the goal post. So the ball will roll into the goal. So that's the correct one. So look at the next one. She ran in the room crying. So what is the meaning of the sentence there? She ran in the room crying in the sense she is running already. She is already in the room and she is running and crying. So that's not the meaning we should write. Look at the correct sentence. She ran into the room crying. So she was running into the room crying. Can you understand? Yes, good. The prepositions in and on are used to show position. So in and on refers to a position. To say where things are going, we use into and onto. So in a sentence, a person or an object will be there. So instead of using some other prepositions to mark where they are going, we have to use two prepositions. What are they? Into and onto. Is good. So now we will move on to the examples I have given there. Look at the first one. The train will arrive within 5 minutes. So is that the right thing? No, it is wrong. We should not use within 5 minutes. That's completely wrong, and we should use the train will arrive in 5 minutes. Okay, so that's the right thing to use. Look at the explanation given there. We use in to say how soon something will happen. So the train will arrive in 5 minutes in the sense the train will come soon in 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes is wrong and we have to use only in. So look at the meaning for within. So within means inside or not beyond. So what is the meaning of within? Within means inside or into something, whether it may be a room or a place. Okay. So look at the next example. If you don't live by your income, you will incur huge debts. What they are trying to say, we have to live by our income. What so we have to live in the way what we earn. So if we don't live by our income, we'll enter into what? Debts. Okay. So look at the correct usage there. We should not use by there. Instead of by, we have to use if you don't live within your income. So here only we have to use within. So that will be the right usage. Okay. If you don't live within your income, you will incur huge debts. Can you all understand? So look at the next one. The ball went to the window and fell on the ground. Is that the right thing? No, it is wrong. So look at the correct example. The ball went through the window and fell on the ground. So the ball is passing through the window. That's why we are using through. To means we are referring to a place where the ball is going to reach. That should not be used here. The ball is passing through the window. So that's why we are using through. Clear? Through is used for movements in a three-dimensional space. So in those places only we have to use through. Can you all understand? So let's move on to the next example. He wrote the book in a month's time. Is that the right usage? No, it's completely wrong. He wrote the book in a month's time is wrong. What we have to write instead? He wrote the book in a month. That will be the correct preposition. So in a month's time is wrong and in a month is the right usage. He took 1 month to write the book. So that's the meaning given there. So for that we have to write he wrote the book in a month. Okay. Look at the explanation. The expressions in a week's or month's time is used to say how something will happen. It is not used to say how long something has taken. Can you understand? If we are using in a week's time or in a month's time, it is used to say how something will happen in future. Okay, but he already wrote the book. So what we have to write? He wrote the book in a month. So that will be the correct usage. Okay, so look at the next example. We usually go and see Granny on Sunday. So there is something wrong there. Can anybody find which is wrong? Look at the next sentence I have given. That is the correct usage. We usually go and see Granny on Sundays. So who is Granny? Granny is none other than our grandmother. So we usually go and see Granny on Sundays. So not only on a particular single Sunday but on every Sunday. That's why we are using plural. Okay. So what we have to write? We usually go and see Granny on Sundays. So look at the next example. I don't care for your opinion. Is that the right usage? No, that's wrong. What is the correct one? Look down. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care for your opinion is different from I don't care about your opinion. Look at the explanation given there. Care for means like or be fond of. So that's the meaning of care for. So if you care about something, you feel that it is important or interesting. So if we care about something, then automatically the thing will be what? The thing will be more important and interesting for us. So in that purpose only we'll use care about. So care for is something different from care about. Clear, students? Okay class, today we have learnt a new topic, that is preposition, its meaning, its definition, its kind and its types. With some examples and exercises we have learnt it fully. I hope you all understood well. Keep in touch with prepositions and keep practicing. Thank you all. Have a good day.